When people ask whether WWE 2K18 on Xbox One is worth playing in 2026, what they're really asking is whether an older wrestling game can still hold up in a post 2K24, post 2K25 world where visuals are sharper, animations are smoother, and presentation has reached almost broadcast level polish. WWE 2K18 came out in 2017, a very different era for both WWE and the 2K series itself, and it sits at an interesting crossroads. It's newer than the truly rough early 2K entries, but old enough that its flaws are impossible to ignore. So the real question isn't just is it good, but who is it good for in 2026? From a pure presentation standpoint, WWE 2K18 immediately shows its age the moment you boot it up. Character models are uneven, with some wrestlers looking surprisingly solid, while others feel stiff, plastic-like, or strangely proportioned. Facial animations are limited, crowd reactions feel repetitive, and entrances, while still atmospheric, lack the dynamic camera work and polish you'd expect from modern WWE games. Load times, especially on the Xbox One, are noticeably longer than what most players are used to now, and that alone can test your patience if you're bouncing between matches or editing content in creation mode. That said, the game still looks like WWE, and for many fans, that familiarity goes a long way. Gameplay is where WWE 2K18 really defines itself for better and for worse. The in-ring action is slower and more deliberate than modern entries, which some players will absolutely hate, but others might actually appreciate. Matches feel heavier and more methodical with a stronger emphasis on positioning and stamina rather than constant reversals and high-speed sequences. Strikes lack impact by today's standards, grappling can feel rigid, and hit detection isn't always reliable, but there's still a sense of structure that rewards players who understand the system. If you're coming straight from newer WWE 2K games, the transition can feel jarring, but if you approach it on its own terms, the gameplay is serviceable and occasionally satisfying. One of WWE 2K18's biggest strengths, even in 2026, is its sheer amount of content. The roster is massive, representing a snapshot of WWE during a very specific era, blending current stars of the time with legends and NXT talent that may no longer be featured prominently in newer games. That alone gives WWE 2K18 value as a historical time capsule. Universe mode is still robust, allowing players to book their own shows, rivalries, and championships with a level of freedom that keeps it engaging long after the novelty wears off. If you're the kind of player who likes to fantasy book WWE the way you think it should be run, Universe mode remains one of the game's strongest reasons to come back. Creation modes are another area where WWE 2K18 continues to shine despite its age. Create a Superstar, Create an Arena, and Create a Championship offer deep customization options that let you recreate classic wrestlers, build original characters, or design entire promotions from scratch. While online community creations may no longer be active or accessible in 2026, offline creation tools still give the game a long shelf life. If you enjoy tinkering, editing, and customizing every detail, WWE 2K18 still has a surprising amount to offer even nearly a decade later. MyCareer mode, however, is where the game struggles the most in a modern context. The progression system is grind-heavy, repetitive, and clearly built around design philosophies that feel outdated today. Storytelling is minimal, character development is shallow, and the overall experience feels more like a checklist than a compelling wrestling journey. Compared to the cinematic, narrative-driven career modes in newer WWE games, WWE 2K18's MyCareer feels lifeless and dated, and it's unlikely to hold your attention unless you're extremely patient or just curious to see how the mode used to function. Online play realistically should not factor into your decision at all in 2026. Even if servers are technically still accessible, the player base is almost certainly tiny, matchmaking would be inconsistent at best, and most players looking for online wrestling action will be doing so in newer entries. WWE 2K18 is very much an offline experience now, and you should go into it expecting that. Couch multiplayer with friends, exhibition matches, and universe mode are where the game lives or dies. So is WWE 2K18 worth playing in 2026? The honest answer is yes, but only under specific circumstances. If you're a wrestling fan who enjoys revisiting older eras, if you value deep creation tools, if you mostly play offline, and if you don't mind dated visuals and slower gameplay, WWE 2K18 can still be a fun and worthwhile experience. On the other hand, if you're looking for cutting-edge presentation, smooth animations, strong storytelling, or an active online community, this game simply won't deliver that anymore. It's not a replacement for modern WWE games, but it is a solid archival piece of the series' evolution. In 2026, WWE 2K18 isn't about being the best wrestling game you can play. It's about nostalgia, customization, and appreciating how far the series has come. If you approach it with the right expectations, there's still enjoyment to be found. If you expect it to compete with the latest entries, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. And if you want to support the channel, check out my Patreon, where the latest exclusive is a deep dive into the rise and fall of the Sega Dreamcast. Thanks for watching, and as always, game on.